to Got Style Designs. My name's Pat. My channel is all about leather, techniques, supplies, tools, designs, applique, braiding, and much more. Since I use fairly sharp and dangerous equipment and tools, this channel is for adults. If you like my video, please push the thumbs up button below and subscribe. Thanks, and let's get on with the video. Today's video is how to split and bevel leather lace. You will need to do this to make your finished products look professional. Let's start with the splitting part of it. Caution first, because the blades are really very sharp and dangerous, and I've seen some pretty bad accidents around these blades when people were not being careful. So first, why do we want to split lace? Well, some of the lace is too thick, or it's uneven in thickness, so it's thick in one place and thin in another place, and if you braid with it like that, it's just going to look pretty lumpy. So the next slide shows you what braiding looks like with unsplit and unbeveled lace. The bottom piece has not been split or beveled. See the uneven braid and the edges sticking out? That would not look good in a finished piece. The top piece has been split, but the edge is not beveled, so you can see the raw edge, and the braid is definitely not smooth. It's very rough. The next slide is a braid that I did that has been split and beveled. See how it is even in height and the edges lie down. This was one of my first round braids, so definitely not perfect and could be smoother. This is the completed necklace from the previous braid. I had some braiding that was nicer but sold it. That's really a nice thing. I'm going to give you an overview of the splitters that I have used or tried. The blades, again, are very sharp and dangerous. The first is the Why Not handheld. Second is a Tandy benchtop. And third is the Lace Master. I'm going to go over each one of those and how to use them. Here's a picture of the Why Not splitter. I bought this splitter at the show in Sheridan last year. It's very easy to use, and it's just handheld. It uses mat cutter blades, and it's easy to adjust the thickness of the split. And the way to use it is, once again, be careful, it's very sharp, and you get to adjust the splitter to the thickness you want. It may take several tries to get it just exactly where you want it, and you can split leather up to a 1/2 inch wide, so it's pretty versatile. You insert the lace with the flesh side up, you squeeze the handle down, and you pull a lace in a steady, even pull. And the part that gets split off will come off on the top side, which is what you discard. The lace should be very even and nice. But you do have to test and measure and reset. You may need to do that a number of times. So next, let's do a little video of me actually using it so you get an idea of how to do that. Let's take a test run with the Why Not splitter. First, we need to always measure our lace to see if we need to split it. And so this is the Packer lace right here. And it comes in at 0.65 millimeters, and that's about perfect. Mine usually goes from 0.65 to 0.68. Makes it consistent when you braid. It's really very nice. So this other lace that I got over here, which will remain nameless, is not consistent, and it's much thicker. So let's try this one. Is 0.79. That's thicker. Here's another piece of the same kind of lace. 0.74 in one place. Ooh, 0.98 in the other portion of the lace. So that's really not good. When we do our braiding, it would look really pretty lumpy no matter how good of a braider that you were. So a lot of lace, you have to kind of test it out and see what, how consistent it is or how good. And if it isn't, then you really need to split it. So let's try the why not. First, the roller here goes up to the blade. You can change out the blade with just these 2 screws, and it takes a couple of different kinds of easy to get blades. The screw down here is the one that allows how thick that you're going to be cutting, or how thin, depending on which way you say it. So let's just take the green piece of lace here and we put it through the splitter like that. We pull from behind, and sometimes you want to keep your thumb up here, not on the blade or anything, but just on the guard. And the reason you want to do that is so that the lace can't all of a sudden curl over and go in the corner, and then you've screwed up your piece of lace because it took the edge off. Okay, so we'll pull, and it's doing a really nice job of splitting this lace. So there's what we split off. Now let's measure this to make sure that we have about what we want. And you might do just a piece at a time, but that's about perfect, about 63 millimeters. So that will match. We might have even taken off a tiny bit too much, but not really. I mean, it's all going to match up pretty good. So the why not is easy to use, and actually, in my estimation, it's easier in most ways than the Tandy, because you can just replace the blade and you don't have to take the huge blade off of the Tandy and try and sharpen it. You just take these blades out. One of them is like for a mat cutter, and you can just easily replace it. So that takes care of the why not, and it's a really nice piece of equipment. I bought it at Sheridan last year. This is the Tandy benchtop splitter. You can bolt it to your bench, or you can use clamps to hold it in place. There are all kinds of benchtop splitters, so Tandy doesn't have the only one for sure. There's many old ones, new ones, but I just happen to have the Tandy, and I'm only going to go over the items that I've had or used. So once again, the blade's really sharp, only this blade's much larger. You would clamp or screw the splitter to your bench so it's very firm so you can pull against it. You adjust the splitter to the thickness just like you did with the why not, but it's got little knobs on it to do that. And you insert the lace with the flush side up and close the handle. You pull the lace towards you in a steady, even pull, just like you did the other one, and the split portion will come off on the top so you can discard it. So next, let's look at a video showing how I actually split the lace on the Tandy. Let's try the Tandy benchtop splitter. First, we need to find out what our lace measures and about how much we have to take off. This is 0.77 millimeters, and this is the lace that's not Packer. We have some more of their lace, and it's 96 millimeters. So let's compare that to the Packer lace, which you can tell is even finished nicer. And we'll test that. And it's like in the 60s, 63 to about 67 is what most of mine has measured. So if you braid with this and you use another piece of another color from the other brand, it's going to be way off. It's going to be lumpy and different because the lace from the other brand is not consistent either. So let's try the Tandy. First of all, we don't have to split the lace from Packer, because it's consistent and it's just about right to braid. You wouldn't really particularly want it any thinner. We'll bevel it, but we don't need to split it. But the other brands, some of them we do. So we take the Tandy splitter, and I have it clamped to my bench back here. And you pull the handle back, and as you do that, you can see the roller going up and down. And this is the blade. So it goes up and down against the blade. These two knobs are the adjustment for height, and it'll take a little while for you to get them right. You just barely move them and you get a pretty big adjustment for lace anyway. So this is the lace that's too thick. We put it with the flesh side up, and we'll grab it from back behind while we hold the lace on this side. Then as we pull from the back, you may have to use a pair of pliers to get it started. But once you get it started, you can kind of get your finger around it and pull. And the waist comes off of the top. That may have been a little bit too much that we took off, but let's measure it and see. Nope, it was absolutely right on. It's 67 or 8 millimeters, which is just what we want to match the Packer lace. But you can see the quality of this lace is also a little crinkly and not quite as nice as the Packer. So I try and use the same brand for whatever project I'm doing and not mix the brands at least. So that gives you a good overview of what the Tandy does. The Lace Master is a high quality splitter beveler combo. If I was going to braid full time, this is probably the model that I would buy, but I got into braiding a little at a time, and braiding is not all I do. I've tried the Lace Master and really like it, but I don't own one since I already had bought mine. The Y Knot splitter and beveler are also good high quality tools, and they are the ones that I use right now. I posted the information on vendors for the kangaroo lace and the equipment below. I know there are a lot of other brands of equipment and lace. The video would be hours long if I covered them all. If you purchase the Packer kangaroo lace, you can skip the splitting step. Kangaroo is much stronger than other types of lace, and you may not be able to split the other varieties as thin and keep the strength that you need. You can also split rawhide lace, but that's another subject. Stay tuned for my beveling, edge braiding, and applique videos next, where we will use the braiding soap we made in my first video and the splitting technique shown in this video. I will try to post new videos every week or two. Subjects will also contain lots of other leather techniques and information. If you are interested, I'll do a video on making a round braid necklace like I've shown in this video. If you like this video, please push the thumbs up button and subscribe button so I'll know you like the videos and find them useful. Thanks for watching.